welcome to the daily newspaper analysis, which is brought to you by LawSikho. I hope that you're all doing fine and that you're having a great Monday today. Really sorry for the delay, guys. I'm not keeping very well, so that's why it just got a little late. But let's just start with the newspaper analysis, okay? All right, so today we have an editorial that we have taken from the Indian Express, and this is again about one of the most talked topics, which is the AFSPA rule in the northeastern states. So the title of this article is Pursuit of Justice. Let's see what we'll discuss over here. Secondly, we have the news update for a prelims exam, and thirdly, the legal news covering the latest important case laws for the day. So the charge sheet recently has been filed in the Nagaland killings, and that is also considered as a key step towards accountability. All sides should ensure sanctity of due process. Now, let me tell you a brief background of actually what transpired over here. Now, there is this legislation, there is this law called as the AFSPA, which you can see through this infographic. There is an information about it. So AFSPA is the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which actually gives or it confers the members of the armed forces special powers to suspect in areas declared as disturbed on account of insurgent activities or similar threats. All right. So you have to please remember that it has been there in force in Manipur since 1980 and some other northeastern states as well. So similarly, it was there in Nagaland too. But recently, what happened was that the Indian Army, on the pretext of killing some insurgents, mistakenly killed 6 civilians in Nagaland. That created a huge rage against the AFSPA and the armed forces. Now, after this, there was a question that was asked that how much are we actually able to hold the armed forces responsible, because obviously we cannot give arbitrary powers to any particular institution. In that situation, what has now happened that after the people in Nagaland have come out on streets in the protest of the AFSPA rule, a charge sheet in these Nagaland killings has been filed, and now it has been considered as a step towards the accountability. So all sides should ensure sanctity of due process. So when we are saying that the civilians, the people, the stakeholders, everyone, when is asked to maintain the law, then definitely this, the securities of state or the agencies of state should also be made sure that they are holding accountable and they're also ensuring sanctity of the due process of law. Now let's consider, as I've already told you, let's quickly go through the events so far. So the filing of the charge sheet of the killing of 6 civilians is a welcome step. And the charge sheet names 30 Indian Army personnel, including a major as well. So the Army has agreed that the same was due to mistaken identity and error of judgment, but definitely, though, it was error of judgment or whatever, 6 innocent civilian lives have been lost. So the incident was when 6 minors were killed by the security forces, and a subsequent violent protest caused 7 more civilian deaths and the death of an army personnel as well. So on April 1st, 6th this year, the center withdrew the AFSPA. Let's see what precautions have been taken in so far. So action has been taken on the SIT. All right, guys, if you know the full form of SIT over here, then you can please pause the video and let me know. I would really love if you can give me the right answer. If not, I'll definitely cover it up in tomorrow's video. So the action that has been taken on the SIT report and the charge sheet of a Mon incident should be dealt with very carefully due to the complex history of the region. Yes, of course. And a closure of this case in a just manner would remedy the wounds of insurgency and terrible repercussions of AFSPA, and that is why every step that we will be taking here has to be taken very, very carefully. So the same would also enable creation of good governance and jobs for sure, and definitely if we are holding the army personnel accountable, this will definitely increase and enhance this trust between the common people and the army of the country. So the armed forces will too have to take accountability of the indiscriminate murder, and mere not following standard operating procedures shall not suffice, and definitely they should be held accountable if at all they have taken the civilian lives. Now let's see what do we have for news updates today. Firstly, second edition of National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment 2021. So Dr. Jitendra Singh will release the second edition of the National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment 2021. So this 2021 report has been prepared covering the assessments of states, union territories, and focused central ministries on their effectiveness in delivering online services to the citizens. Secondly, Akanksha Vyawar won silver in W40 kg at IVF Youth Weightlifting World Championships 2022. So India's Akanksha Kishore Vyawar won the silver medal in the 40 kg category, while Vijay Prajapati finished second in the 49 kg in 2022 IWF Youth World Weightlifting Championships for men and women in Leon, Mexico. Thirdly, World Day Against Child Labor. That's on 12th June, that was yesterday. So the 2022 theme of the World Day calls for increased investment in social protection systems and schemes to establish solid social protection floors and protect children from child labor. Here is a very interesting question for you all. See, I'll tell you that child labor or the prohibition on child labor is a fundamental right. Can you tell me that which article of the Indian Constitution exactly provides that child labor is prohibited? If you know this, please let me know in the comment section below. Let's see what do we have for legal updates today. Firstly, scope of judicial review in contractual matters involving technical issues is limited, says the Gujarat High Court. So the Gujarat High Court in the case of Sandip Dalpatbhai Kikani versus Indian Oil Corporation has reiterated that the scope of judicial review, that's under Article 13 of the Indian Constitution, in contractual matters, particularly which require the technical know-how, is very limited and the court shall not interfere in them. Secondly, landlord-tenant disputes governed by Transfer of Property Act are arbitrable, says the Karnataka High Court. So, the Karnataka High Court in the case of Gokaldas Images Private Limited versus Aries Agro-Vet Associates Private Limited and another has reiterated that landlord-tenant disputes under the Transfer of Property Act are arbitrable in nature. So that was all for today. We hope you like the session. You will like it and also subscribe to our channel. Also, if you wish to download the PDF of today's slides, you can join our Telegram channel. The link is there in the description box below, or you can simply scan this QR code that you can see on your screens right now. Thank you so much.